Claude Code is Anthropic's terminal-based agentic coding tool. Unlike a chat interface that pastes code snippets for a human to copy into a file, Claude Code operates directly on the file system. It creates files, edits existing ones, runs tests, reads error logs, and debugs autonomously, all within the developer's terminal or within the Claude Code desktop version that you have installed. The distinction matters for business practitioners. Claude Code does not require the user to understand or manually execute each line of code. The practitioner writes a goal in plain language and the tool produces a running application. In a live bootcamp demonstration, feeding a single product requirement document to Claude Code is in one session generated a 41 file application complete with a database schema, API routes, and RSS aggregation agent and a dashboard scaffold. So product requirement document is a document that outlines what the project is about. Let me show you. This is like a sample example of a product requirement document. Pretty much it outlines what we are building, and you need that in order not to fall into a trap of developing pieces of the application separately and then trying to glue them together. What you start with is creating a document that outlines the whole picture and parts of it on a step-by-step basis. What the user, like who is the user, what the user has, like the user journey, the technical specifications for the project, and what is the final goal of application, including the description. A document like that would provide an AI an overview of the whole picture so that it can build better. Okay, so this is a project requirement document. It's a sample one. This was built on a previous cohort. A guy wanted, like a student from one of the colleges here, he wanted to build a chart morning news digest app. So this is a project requirement document for an agent or for an application that scans the web for news and creates a digest and sends it to the email. You do not necessarily need to kind of, again, know all the details. You can work with AI through this process, but as long as you name it project requirement document, it will be able to help you out. Codex. OpenAI is the other major agentic coding tool, and through 2026 it has closed most of the gap that once separated it from Claude Code. One sec, meme. Codex vs Claude Code. So again, yesterday it was one thing, today it's a different thing. There was this meme pool here. So anti-gravity was just about a year or two ago one of the top coding agents. Everyone was using it, and anti-gravity dead. And Claude Code is kind of almost dead, yeah. And then suddenly Codex is like the happy kid. But things change fast, and it's all about UX. And it's just simple things like, for example, Codex has code on the right side and allows you preview right away. And Claude Code didn't have that for a while. And that's it. And that's what made Codex more popular among developers than Claude Code. Because in Claude Code, you kind of had to, when you develop something, you do not see the code in front of you. You had to open up an additional window with Codex, for example, to view the code. And Codex cursor to see the code. But then Codex integrated that inside of the application, suddenly became the most popular. Also, interestingly enough, everything that's being developed in AI is very often currently is targeted towards developers themselves. Like Claude Code it now ships free terminal CLI and alongside IDE, web and desktop clients, and it can run tasks asynchronously in the background while you keep working on something else. It runs OpenAI's ChatGPT 5x Codex models with context windows up to roughly 1 million tokens, a long token lifetime that suits large code bases, and is widely praised for a fast desktop experience and generous usage windows. So more tokens, very fast use of your computer, like it will do things for you. Claude Code's distinguished strengths are plan mode and more transparent step-by-step reasoning. By early 2026, it had overtaken Codex in daily VS Code extension installs, though many builders keep both installed and switch by task. The choice is no longer Power vs Accessibility. Both are capable, terminal-native production-grade tools. Pick by model preference, context window needs, and which workflow, plan first vs background async, fits how you build. Interestingly, this workbook, as I mentioned, was generated using Claude Code and from all the context that I had from our lectures. Claude Code in the original version said Codex sucks, Claude Code is the best. So I was like, dude, are you sure? He's like, I thought a little bit about it. It looks like indeed Codex has improved over the last few months. Let me rewrite this chapter. So this is a more kind of accurate overview. So it came up with a table too. Claude Code vs OpenAI, Codex mid-2026. Models Claude, GPT. Context winner, large, long context, up to 1 million top context. Interfaces, terminal, CLI ID, extension, desktop, free CLI ID, extension, web desktop, plan mode, transparent reasoning, background, async tasks, fast desktop, long usage windows. Pricing, 20, 100, API pay as you go, free CLI, go 8 plus 20 pro 100 token credit billing. Best for plan first terminal native production work, long context background, backend work, parallel background tasks. Both are excellent and the community is generally split. Claude Code is favored for plan mode and reasoning transparency, Codex for its large context window, polished desktop UX, and background execution. Try both, the cost is low and they are complementary. Claude Plan Mode is a mode within Claude Code where the model generates a complete PRD or implementation plan from a rough idea before writing any code. The practitioner describes an application concept in plain language. Claude Plan Mode returns a structured specification, goal, target, users, features, technical architecture, and success metrics. This specification then becomes the input document that drives code generation. The loop is therefore rough idea, plan mode, PRD, code generation, running application. Non-technical founders report the sequence collapsing work that previously required a developer briefing from days to hours. How do you enable that? Over here, when you use Claude Code, you have plan mode, for example, auto mode, bypass permissions, manual permissions, so plan mode.